I'm going to play Tryndamere top for 10 hours to prove he was a mistake. I mean, seriously, what was Riot thinking giving this champion the ability to just not die for 5 seconds? Throughout this video alone, you're gonna see tons of crazy fights where not dying turns out to be pretty broken. My first game went way better than I expected. I obliterated this Ornn in lane. This poor guy couldn't even farm. And if that wasn't bad enough, at a certain point, I just started running him down and killing him over and over and over again. But the next game went so much better. Despite being down 7-19, I came in with the might of Zeus and took over the whole game. I was an unstoppable killing machine and I knew I could carry this game. But disaster struck when I tried being a hero in fights by diving the enemy backline. I went from hero to zero real quick because after just 2 bad deaths, they were in our base ending the game. But I mean, I had to do something with my already throwing E's like this. It was during these fights I realized Tryndamere's greatest weakness. He gets kited so easily. After I got done throwing my last game, I realized I still have a lot to learn about Tryndamere, so I went to YouTube to look up some guides. The best channel by far was Fogged Tryndamere, who is an insane Tryndamere one trick, and at the end of the video, I'll go over the top 3 things I learned. My next game went quite well. After watching several videos, I learned that you can kind of just run at your opponent in the early levels and there's nothing they can really do about it. Then, after I got my ult, I could do whatever I wanted and Yasuo just had to take it. I won this game pretty easily. The next game started off pretty strong. I started with a nice kill in lane after I got my win the game ability. Then, a few moments later, I survived an insane early fight that put my entire team really far ahead. But if you would take a moment to look at their team comp, they skilled way harder than us. They slowly just started beating us in fights, and by the end of the game, we didn't really stand a chance. Literally, we killed nobody in the last fight of the game. Well, time for ranked, and be sure to stick around until the end to see my results. So my first ranked game was probably one of the most tilting games of my life. I was basically fighting a 1v2 lane from the 5-minute mark, and I don't mean I was just getting camped. This MF was literally just staying top, keeping me from playing the game. She's still here! I had to just accept that this game was out of my hands and hope my 2v1 bot lane could win hard enough to carry the game. They did not. The next game was pretty boring. Nothing really happened in lane for 12 minutes, so I decided to spice things up with a little bit of a limit test, which I have to say went about as well as I expected. Then I won a 1v2 top lane, which was not even close, and was out of there before the enemy even knew what hit them. We then won a fight with Master Yi and I melting their entire team, and honestly, if I were them, I would have surrendered at this point. But they didn't, so while I was split pushing top a few minutes later, Master Yi decided to just get a pentakill and win the game. Then I played against a Riven who kind of messed up early, but that was all I needed to take over this lane. But in the end, it wasn't enough. I got CC'd for years during these fights and wasn't able to play the game. This game was particularly frustrating because I really wanted to split push. No one could match me, and if we just played safe, we would have outscaled, but it is what it is. I came to realize the absolute worst feeling when playing Tryndamere is missing your ult. You hold on to it until the last second, but instead of not dying, you just die instead. Don't get me wrong, this game started off well. I even got a solo kill because I pressed my have fun ability, but as you already saw, I missed a few ults, and after one particularly awful team fight, we lost the game. But the next game, I really turned things around. To be fair, my first kill wasn't really deserved because Volley messed up his dive, but later, Vi and I killed an overextended Volibear because he had no flash, and then Vi and I won a 2v2 top lane because I actually remembered to press my ult this time. After that, I dove Volley and there was nothing he could do about it. I really thought we were going to smash this game until I looked at the score and realized how far behind we were. In the end, they were just too far ahead for us to win fights, and after a few mechanical misplays, we lost the game. And things just got even worse the next game. My early laning phase was decent. I got an early assist thanks to a Sejuani gank, and then even managed to get a couple of solo kills in lane after I got my ult. But things took a turn for the worst when our Jhin started to tilt and eventually just AFK'd in base. The worst part is we didn't even get a loss mitigated or anything because he stayed in the game to type and occasionally move around. No matter what I did, I just kept losing LP. Things couldn't stay this bad forever, right? In these last few hours, everything just started falling into place. My first game started with a nice catch in the jungle that set me ahead early. I then lost a fight to Set because he outlasted my ult with his CC and massive shield, but I bounced back after stealing a kill from my mid laner, and then I killed Set because he wasted his shield and I knew I had the damage to just melt him. We then got another pick in the jungle, even though sadly Graves did die this time, and at that point we were just so far ahead we won the game. But my next game was insane. It started with an early kill after a Zac gank that almost went horribly wrong because I forgot about the Scion passive. I then masterfully survived a 2v1 tower dive, getting another kill, and even after getting hit by some BS Scion Qs, there was no stopping me. It honestly just got to the point where we didn't even need to fight. The enemy team was just so far behind they surrendered after we got Baron. Continuing this win streak, I got an early double kill invading the enemy jungle at level 4. I didn't see my Shaco ignited the Lee Sin. I kind of just insta-flashed over the wall to secure the kill. Then we chased down Alistar for a second kill. It was a little harder to stomp this lane because Alistar's ult is very similar to mine. We both basically become unkillable for a few seconds. The difference is I do damage, so eventually I managed to kill him, and then this game became a total stomp where the enemy surrendered in 20 minutes. For this last game, I had to combine everything I had learned during this challenge. It started with me barely managing to solo kill a Kali after I baited her out of her shroud. With no protection and a whole lane to run her down with Ghost, I knew I could secure the kill. So then she lane swapped with a 4-0 Kled, who I also managed to kill because he was playing way too confidently. I may have had to use both summons here, but I got the kill, was able to split push, and actually took their whole inner tower after just one kill. I then decided to group up with my team and I got a quick double kill on 2 clowns trying to escape a fight. Things started to go a little downhill after my first death. I way overestimated my strength. I thought my team and I could take tower and win a fight, so instead of spinning away, I went in like an idiot. I then killed Kled trying to save Master Yi, and even though I didn't save him, you can be darn sure I avenged him. I then fought a 1v2 top because Ezreal E'd forward. I managed to kill Ezreal almost instantly and would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for my Ashe. Looking back, if Ashe had landed this arrow, I could have easily run away, but instead, Nuno and I did a little dance top lane before I accepted my fate. A little later, the enemy team was destroying our base, so we had to fight 3v5. And after they blew everything on me and my ult, Master Yi and Vex were able to clean up the fight, get Baron, and get Dragon. My team and I then won a huge fight in the jungle. I was a little bit late to the fight because I was pushing out top lane, but my team fought beautifully. And with the fight won, we had the game in our hands until Master Yi decided to push top instead of ending the game mid with us. I then had to watch in disbelief as the enemy team revived and killed Master Yi and me. Then I watched as they killed Ashe and Twitch, who tried to 2v5 fight for Dragon for some reason. Needless to say, I was pretty upset watching a game we should have won slip right through our fingertips. Psych! We managed to win the next fight because our Master Yi went crazy. I honestly did nothing this fight. I used my ult a little too early, got juked by Ezreal, but distracting Akali and baiting her ult out on me was enough to allow Master Yi to survive and wipe the rest of their team. We then finally won the game. I ended up going from plat 489 LP to plat 331 LP, even after having an AFK one game with no loss mitigated. My first games went super poorly, but as the challenge went on, I got better and better. The 3 main things I learned about Tryndamere are: Rage is super important. You want to stack it as much as you can so that way you get more crits when trading with your opponent. Your Q. Don't panic and use your Q too soon. You want to keep your HP low so you do more damage. Shove and roam. Your opponents usually let you push into them because they're scared of a potential all-in. You can also just get a deep ward, take an enemy jungle camp, or help your jungler invade as long as you're getting some sort of advantage. Click the button in the top left if you want to watch more videos like this. Hope you all enjoyed. See you next time.